Welcome back to Street Warriors. Today we're talking about John Gotti, the infamous mafia boss who took the streets by storm. Let's get into the video. Today we're stepping into the high-octane world of one of the most infamous figures in American crime history, John Gotti. You might know him as the Dapper Don, and for good reason. His impeccable style and charisma made him the ultimate mob boss of the 1980s. Imagine a life where luxury meets lawlessness, where every suit is tailored to perfection, and every move is a calculated power play. Gotti was the man who turned crime into an art form, blending glamour with grit in a way that captivated and scandalized the public. From his rise through the mob ranks to his dramatic fall from grace, Gotti's story is a roller coaster of high-stakes drama and larger-than-life characters. So, grab a front-row seat and get ready as we unravel the tangled web of John Gotti's criminal empire. We'll explore how he went from a neighborhood tough guy to the head of the Gambino crime family, and how his flair for the dramatic ultimately led to his spectacular downfall. Let's dive into the rise and fall of the Dapper Don. This is a story you won't want to miss. Born on October 27, 1940, in the Bronx, New York, John Gotti was the fifth of 13 children in a large, struggling family. His parents, Fanny and John Gotti Sr., both of Italian descent, struggled to make ends meet, which left a deep impression on young Gotti. From an early age, Gotti became disillusioned with the prospects of a normal, working-class life. By his early teens he was skipping school and spending time on the streets, quickly falling into a life of crime. He began with petty theft, street fights and stealing cars, rapidly gaining a reputation as a tough and fearless young man. Unlike many small-time criminals, Gotti was driven by ambition and a desire for power. His natural leadership skills and fierce loyalty to his friends set him apart. These traits didn't go unnoticed by the local mob, particularly members of the Gambino crime family. Gotti's boldness and street smarts earned him the respect of more seasoned criminals, and by the mid-1960s, he had fully integrated himself into the mob's world. By the 1970s, Gotti was officially working for the Gambino family, which was one of the most powerful mafia families in New York. Under the mentorship of Aniello Neil Delacroce, an underboss in the Gambino family, Gotti's criminal career began to flourish. He was involved in various illegal activities including hijacking, loan sharking and narcotics trafficking, and quickly rose through the ranks. He was known for his ruthless approach and willingness to do whatever it took to get ahead, including committing murder. Gotti's reputation as an enforcer grew, and he became a key figure in the Gambino family's operations. Gotti's big break came in December 1985, when Paul Castellano, the then boss of the Gambino family, was brutally assassinated outside Sparks Steakhouse in Manhattan.
He died on an empty stomach. And because it happened that way, the theory is the biggest mafia rub-out of the decade took place with considerable help from inside the dead mobster's family. 6 shell casings were on the pavement of East 46th Street, right next to the body of Paul Castellano Sr., the top mafiosi in the United States, the heir to the Gambino family, indeed the son-in-law of the late Carlo Gambino, on trial for conspiracy and racketeering in a case stemming from an alleged auto theft ring. 10 feet away, Castellano's driver and bodyguard, 45-year-old Thomas Bellotti, the keys to his late model limousine not far from his hand.
They were shot numerous times with automatic weapons. Questions?
Where were they hit?
They were hit in the head and in the body.
There were witnesses, but not many. They told police of an apparently well-trained and heavily armed hit squad.
The only thing we can ascertain at this time is that it was 3 males wearing trench coats.
Castellano's murder was a highly publicized, brazen hit that sent shockwaves through New York's underworld. Rumor has it that Gotti was the mastermind behind the hit, pulling the strings behind the scenes to eliminate Castellano and clear his path to power. Gotti, along with his close associates, including Sammy the Bull Gravano, carefully plotted the ambush. They positioned hitmen outside the upscale restaurant, who gunned Castellano down in broad daylight along with his trusted bodyguard, Thomas Bellotti. Once Gotti took control, he wasn't just another behind-the-scenes crime boss. No, Gotti loved the spotlight. He dressed in expensive suits, appeared in public with a big smile, and earned the nickname the Dapper Don. But no nickname stuck better than the Teflon Don, because despite multiple trials and charges, nothing ever seemed to stick to him. Prosecutors just couldn't convict him. It was as if he was untouchable. But even the Teflon Don couldn't avoid the law forever. Gotti's downfall began with an FBI operation that bugged an apartment where he held private meetings. These tapes captured Gotti talking about everything from murders to mob operations, giving prosecutors the evidence they needed to finally put him away. In 1992, Gotti was convicted of 5 murders, including the hit on Paul Castellano, as well as racketeering and other crimes. His underboss, Salvatore "Sammy the Bull" Gravano, had turned on him, agreeing to testify in exchange for a reduced sentence. Gotti, who once seemed untouchable, was sentenced to life in prison without the possibility of parole. Gotti's trial was one of the most high-profile in American history. The man who had lived a life of luxury and power was now locked away in solitary confinement, where he would remain until his death in 2002 from cancer. Despite his imprisonment, Gotti's legacy lived on. Some saw him as a larger-than-life figure, almost a modern-day Robin Hood, while others saw him as nothing more than a violent criminal. So there you have it, the rise and fall of John Gotti. From street thug to mafia kingpin, his life was as glamorous as it was dangerous. Let us know in the comments what you think about Gotti's legacy. Was he a criminal mastermind, or just another gangster who flew too close to the sun?